DEVBLOG review. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, where today we are back looking at some more 1.87 devblogs, and today we have the announcement of the French helicopter tech tree. More specifically, 3 specific helis that will be present on that tech tree. Now first off, 2 actual tech tree vehicles, these being 2 variants of the well-known Sud aviation company Gazelle helicopter, which was also used by the British, so hopefully we'll be seeing that on the British helicopter tech tree at some point in the future, and also a look at the SA.341F, which is a Romanian license-built variant of the Alouette III. So that is the actual Tier 5 premium for this line, so we'll be going and taking a look at that in a few minutes. So starting off with the 2 Gazelles. Being a bit more specific with them, we do have 2 variants, the SA.341F, which is the early variant, and then the SA.342M. So these are the 2 variants we have, starting off with the 341F. This is the standard French Army model of the helicopter. This is just basically the base Gazelle model. This is the initial version, powered by a fairly early French turboshaft engine, generating around 600 horsepower, which is decent. This helicopter is, of course, a rather fast helicopter. The Gazelle did earn a reputation for being a very maneuverable and fast heli. This can go up to 310 kilometers per hour, whilst maintaining very good maneuverability at both high and low speeds. So certainly very good there. Now, this does have some interesting weaponry sort of options. First off, the early variant has a fixed 20mm cannon on the right side. This does mean that you cannot mount any secondary payload on that side of the helicopter. So that can be a bit annoying. That means you can only mount secondary payload on the left side. This gives you options for either 2 hot ATGMs or 2 Mistral air-to-air missiles, or a range of various unguided rockets. So you will have a gun, but you will also then be limited on the secondary payloads, which, for example, using it in ground RB, possibly 2 ATGMs. You know, sometimes it takes more than 2 to finish off a single target if you don't hit the right place, so that's not exactly ideal. Now, the Gazelle's weapon capability does certainly improve with the SA.342M. This represents the further modification of the Gazelle helicopter type and does give it quite a few nice upgrades. First off, more powerful turboshaft engine. Instead of the 600 horsepower we had previously, you now have 870. So this is notably a big increase in power, although it doesn't actually increase the speed of the helicopter much. All it really does is allow the helicopter to take more payload, gives it a bit more high weight lifting capability, which is definitely very good. Now, a big thing that is actually, some might see as an improvement, some might see as a drawback of this variant, that fixed 20mm cannon, gone. Not there anymore. It is gone, which now does mean you can mount secondary, or at least different types of arms on both sides of the helicopter in an equal configuration. So this does now mean, instead of having just 2 hot ATGMs, I presume you can have 4 of them, and you can also now have 4 of the Mistral air-to-air missiles, which is definitely a very good thing. Not so much on the payloads other than that, but I would presume that unguided rockets are definite, and the possibility of a type of secondary payload fixed gun, or on the pylons at least having a gun, that is a possibility, I presume, but no clarification here. So do let me know if you know if the later variants can mount guns, although at least we know for sure you can now carry more ATGMs and more air-to-air missiles, which of course will certainly come in handy, at least in Air RB, and definitely also in Helicopter EC, or whatever helicopter modes are available when this is released. So certainly a nice set of helicopters there to start off the French tech tree with. Now, of course, they do say that these will form the backbone of the French helicopter tech tree, and, you know, this could mean 2 things. It could just mean that these are the helicopter series that there are the most of in the tech tree, or it could simply mean that these are the top helis in the tree. If these are the top helis in the tree on the French tech tree release, this will mean that the Eurocopter Tiger is a no-no. I was personally hoping for stuff like maybe the Puma sort of transport helicopter fitted with secondary arms, which can be done, or the Eurocopter Tiger, or something like that as the top heli, something that was fairly more modern than this, had a lot of secondary weapon arms that could be fitted. Eurocopter Tiger would be pretty cool, and not to mention that the Mistral anti-air missile that can be used on this heli is actually able to be used on the Eurocopter Tiger. So you know, we could possibly be seeing that. Although, of course, if the Eurocopter Tiger comes along for France, it is likely that we would also be getting it for Germany. And really, the Tiger is in sort of a whole other class. It's in a class of helis that would go along with the Mi-28 Havoc and also the AH-64 Apache. So if that came along, the Apache and the Mi-28 and stuff like the KA-50, the Black Shark, they would likely be coming along soon after as well. Although, you know what, if this is the top heli we have for the French upon release, I don't see that being a huge issue. Despite having a small amount of arms, it does look like a fairly small, mobile helicopter with a decent amount of sort of capability. You have air-to-air missiles, you have anti-tank guided missiles. A similar thing can be said for the Bo 105 series of helicopters. They only have ATGMs, that is all they can fit. And yet in Helicopter EC, that's the helicopter I prefer. No guns, using anti-tank guided missiles to shoot down helis at long range. In tank games, it is not a problem. Anti-tank guided missiles, you can shoot down aircraft if you are good enough. You can take out tanks. You can basically kill everything with them. So even though the later variant may not have access to guns, I really do not see that being a huge limitation of the vehicle. Anyway, now that I have spoken about the two Gazelle variants we're going to be seeing, let's move on to the final vehicle we have to talk about, the IAR-316B. This is the Tier 5 premium helicopter, and it is rather interesting to talk about, so let's get into this. Alright, so getting into the IAR-316. This helicopter, very interesting. So the premium pack, it costs €34.99. That is less than any other rank 5 premium in the game. Far less than all of the other helicopter premiums. Why might this be? Well, personally, I think it's due to the capabilities of the aircraft. So this helicopter is obviously a Romanian license-built Alouette III. This helicopter, I believe, is far less capable than the Bo 105 CB2, than the Mi-24 Hind, and than the Huey. First off, the Huey, they are both transport helicopters. This one, though, I believe, has far less capable ATGMs. You look at them, they don't look quite as capable as a tow ATGM, do they? They're very small, and I believe they're either the same or very similar to the early ATGM used on the BMP-1. So not the most capable thing there. You also have unguided rockets, and then under the sort of center section of the cockpit, you do have two 7.62mm machine guns. Not the most powerful. Now, in terms of speed, it doesn't exactly look like an incredibly fast helicopter, so I believe it is based, the Alouette III was a development of the Alouette II, so expect similar performance to the Alouette II. So that might be that might be why the price is lower. Now, this is also available in a pre-order bundle alongside the AMX30 Premium. Now, obviously, this is likely going to be a fairly high BR. I would expect, due to the ATGMs, 9.0, maybe 8.0 at a minimum, but still a fairly high BR. AMX30, you might have to up-tier that if you want to get these together and use them, although the AMX30, if used right, is a very capable vehicle. The only downside being that the gun is not stabilized, and that you have to mostly use heat rounds, as it is either heat rounds, HE rounds, or smoke rounds. And obviously, HE, not so good at top tier, and then also the smoke rounds, well, you're not going to be using smoke rounds against enemy tanks, are you? That's not exactly a smart idea. But nonetheless, this pack does give you a 30% discount, and that does mean if you already have the AMX30, you can get the IAR-316B on a 30% discount, which is what I did. I got it on a 30% discount. It's already a cheap heli, so you might as well pick it up if you are planning on grinding out the French helis. Now, looking at this pack itself, it does say the IAR-316B Rank 5 France will be available, of course, after the update drops, which will likely be in a few weeks. 2,000 Golden Eagles as well, not too bad. And you also get premium account for 15 days, which is expected. That 2,000 Golden Eagles, 15 days premium, that is what you get with the Tier 5 pack. Now, pre-order bonuses, this is what we all want to know. So, first off, tricolor camouflage. If you look in the pictures, you will see most of them show it in a standard blue camouflage, plain blue. But then you see some in the tricolor camouflage, and it's basically the plain blue with some darker blue sort of patches on it and some lighter blue patches. And actually, I really like this camo. I saw it and I thought, you know what? I would like to pick that up. So it's pretty good. I am fairly happy with how this helicopter is looking. Of course, the armament is not quite so good. This, you know, it's not the best. It is 6 ATGMs. These are the Malyukta ATGMs. I probably butchered that pronunciation, but, you know, what can you do about it? 2 7.62mm machine guns, which are mounted underneath the center section of the heli, and then also 32 unguided 57mm rockets, the LPR-57s. So, you know, this might be a lower rated heli. If it is, they're putting it up with the AMX-30, which is a lower rated tier 5 premium compared to some of the others, so it might be interesting to see. You never know. If this is a low rated heli, could actually be pretty fun. If you are in Tank RB and you don't have other things flying around against you, it could be an interesting heli, although it's likely whatever rating is at least AH-1Gs will still be a problem. Nonetheless though, this could actually prove to be one of the best packs for people wanting to get into helicopters to get, due to its cheap price. If you want a premium heli, you just want to grind out a tech tree, this might be the one to get. Of course though, we don't have any gameplay from this yet, we don't know if it's actually good, so, you know, just hold out a bit. Once the dev server's up, I'll do some gameplay. I will, of course, get a video out on it as soon as possible. And also, once the update is dropped, if you still don't have it, I will, sometime after the update, have a video out showing this vehicle a little bit in maybe Heli EC, as well as Tank Realistic. One last thing to note is that for pre-ordering, you do also get a unique title. Of course, whenever you pre-order a premium pack before the update, you get a title. And this one gives you the Skylark title, which, you know what, I actually like that title, so I'm rather happy I did pick this up when I could. Skylark title, certainly something I'm fairly happy with. Anyway though, there we go. French helis are here. Hopefully the British will not be too far behind. Definitely something that I would be a bit more excited for, but nonetheless, it's a new heli tree, and I don't think we really expected it on one of the more minor nations in the game, so definitely pretty nice to see. Anyway though, thank you very much for watching this video. Of course, the last thing to do is to give this dev blog with these 3 vehicles a rating. Now, you know, obviously, it's not vegan bacon. That is not the rating I'm going to give it. It certainly doesn't suck. I bought a premium out of it, so I'm clearly happy enough to do that. So, you know, I think I'm going to give this crispy bacon. It is a great devlog. The Gazelles, I'm really happy with them being added, because that means, hey, that is a heli the British had. That will likely be in the British tech tree, so at least, you know, it's sort of getting there, getting towards British heli, so that makes me happy. And also this heli, the premium one, it's a far lower price. It's not going to be a great heli. Do not expect it to be amazing performance. But I really do like the looks of it. It's just a cute looking little heli. It's got fairly decent weaponry, and that sort of pre-order bonus camo I really do like. So, you know, I'm going to give this the crispy bacon rating. I really do like this. So definitely come take a look at the devlog. Look at the French helis. There will be a link to the devlog in the description, so go give that a look. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.